Folks, let's talk about the Google Dance. This is actually a very important tool that takes place within Google that basically helps organize websites in the search engine based on certain parameters. The Google Dance very often freaks people out because what happens is that if you have a website and you're trying to rank on Google, let's say that you create a blog post and you write that blog post and you decide to track how it's doing on Google. Say that it's targeting a certain keyword, so you type that keyword in, you find that your site is on a certain page, a certain position. Maybe in a day or two that's going to jump up, maybe it's going to jump down, and it just keeps going up and down, up and down, up and down. That's basically called the Google Dance. And when people see that or they hear about that, they freak out because they're thinking, well, what's going to happen? My site just keeps going up and down. I don't know how to get ranked higher. What do I do? And very often they end up quitting SEO. But if you understand that there's actually a genius aspect to the Google Dance and how to actually beat it, you won't be making that mistake. And that's why I'm here to explain to you what the Google Dance is, what the purpose of that dance is, and how to actually beat it. So let me just say that I will be linking you to a specific article that I wrote on the Google Dance below this video, and I strongly recommend you check it out because it won't just open your eyes to how it is that you'll be able to beat the Google Dance. I will be explaining that in this video, but you will also get a lot more information on that and other SEO topics in the link below this video. But let me just start off by saying that what is exactly is the Google Dance? I already explained that it's a very important metric that Google uses to judge and organize websites on their search engine. Let's say that there are 100 different websites that are all trying to compete for the same keyword and they're all publishing their own content on it. How does Google decide which one gets the higher positions, which ones get the lower positions? In other words, how are the 100 sites organized on their search engine for that particular keyword? And the answer is that it judges them based on how much quality content that website has, how old the website is, things of that sort. And while it's doing these kinds of processes, the 100 websites in this example that I'm giving you are all going to be bouncing up and down in against each other. Sometimes they'll be higher, sometimes they'll be lower. Now, what you will usually find is that when you publish new content, and you have a new website especially, it will not get ranked high on Google. It'll probably bounce around on like pages 5 and under when it comes to Google. But if you do check your traffic stats on a program called Webmaster Tools and your website is still new, you'll see that sometimes your website pops up for just a momentary time on the first page of Google. What I believe is happening here, and this is actually a very important theory because it actually makes a lot of sense, is that what Google does is when you publish new content and you have a new website, Google will visit it, but it won't rank your website very high. It'll rank it very high for a very short period of time to see how the audience that sees it reacts to it. So if you have websites that have good titles, good content, and Google ranks it for a very short period of time on the first page, and they see that it gets a lot of clicks and visits and good reads, it'll see that that page is high quality. And that's actually a strategy that you can use to make improvements to your site. But there are 3 stages to the Google Dance as a whole, and I actually explained that on the very same site that I linked below. I like to classify it under a 3-tier system, and the goal is to get to the 3rd-tier system. Now, most websites that are probably about under 3 months old will be in tier 1. In other words, whenever you create content and you try to rank it on Google, it'll probably pop out on the 5th page of Google and lower, and it'll just bounce around in those particular areas. Maybe it'll start on page 5, maybe then it'll go down to page 10, then go up to page 8, then back down to 9. In other words, it'll keep dancing around, and for about 3 months it's going to keep doing that. But if you start adding more and more content and more blog posts to your site, chasing more keywords, increasing the overall content base of your website, you're going to basically enter stages 2. Now in stage 2, your website is probably going to be over 4 months old, and then the content that you publish, including the old content that you've published, is going to start appearing on pages 3 and 4, and maybe it'll bounce to 5, then back up to 4, back up to 3. The goal, your end goal, is to make sure that your website and the keywords that you try to rank for pop up on the first page. But it's not going to do that in tier 2. It's going to get close to that, but it's not going to get there until you reach tier 3. And you basically reach tier 3 by doing the very same things that you did to go from tier 1 to tier 2, which is you keep adding articles, you keep blogging, you keep increasing the content base of your website, and eventually around month 6 or so, your site will hit tier 3, where those very same rankings that were on page 2 and 3 are now going to start showing up on page 1, on page 2, and those particular areas, and that's when the real traffic starts coming in. So if and you will see a Google Dance occurring on tier 1 especially, less on tier 2, and when you're in tier 3 and you're popping up on pages 1 and 2, there will still be a Google Dance going on, but it'll be going on within the first and second pages, so it won't be as huge of a discrepancy. And if you even if you're, let's say, on the first page and there's only 10 positions available, you may go up from position 3 to position 1 and go back down to position 4, but you're still going to be on the first page, so you're still going to be getting a lot of traffic. So the goal is to basically ignore the Google Dance, to understand that it's a natural occurrence and it's part of the SEO game, and your goal is to keep writing more content, keep chasing more keywords, keep improving the authority of your site, and over time, that mixed together with your site growing more and more and maturing, it will see less and less of a Google Dance and get ranked higher and higher. There is also another term in the SEO world known as the Google Sandbox, which is very synonymous with the Google Dance, because the Google Sandbox basically means that your site is going to be stuck in tier 1 and tier 2 anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and provided you do the very same things that I just told you, which is adding more content, increasing the content base, increasing the quality of your website overall in terms of its content and everything else that I just mentioned, it will get out of the sandbox after about month 4, 5, or even 6, after which it will be getting ranked higher and higher. And once it's out of the sandbox, you will also notice that the Google Dance happens less and less. So that basically explains it. Again, I encourage you to check out the link below this video that will take you to this article and talk more in depth about the Google Dance and why it's important, as well as other very important SEO topics such as how to get higher rankings, how to get more visitors to your site from Google, Bing, and other kinds of search engines. That's what this website is basically meant to do, and the information is free. So feel free to check that out. And if you have any questions about the Google Dance in this video, let me know below. Thanks.